excited to see what's in it because you've told me this contains all your secrets from Ferry Meadows. Is that
If they are, I must have lost them at some point. It must have got out at some point. No, this is just me, Ferry Meadows extra box what I take for just for Ferry Meadows basically, because obviously at Ferry Meadows we need bigger feeders, we need heavier feeders, and just some bigger wafters and bigger method feeders and things like that. Because everything in Ferry is massive, so everything's an upscale. So I just have a little box like that, and I just keep it for Ferry, so I can just take it with me. I ain't got to mess about altering all my other tackle. I've just got a box for Ferry. And to be fair, Tom, I do that for a few other venues now. Instead of having loads of trays and extra drawers and things, because you always end up forgetting something. So I've got my core tackle box with my essentials in what I use every day. But if I'm going to a separate venue, a lot of the time now I just have a little box set up like this, and I can just put it away. Like on this one, look, I've even written on it Ferry Meadows, and you can just pick a box up then and add it to your net bag or whatever. So you've got all your normal kit, plus you're taking whatever you need for that specific venue with you.
Oh, tell us what's in it then. Come on.
So in here we have some various wafters.
The Fiedland one.
These are but these you haven't seen these ones yet.
Oh, God.
So I'll put them away. I've got my 8mm wafters in there. Now that's what I do as well, as opposed to having them all the time in your tubs. Because how many tubs do you then? And I've done it here, Miss Enlow. Look at that. I've got 4 tubs there with different pop-ups in and that. But what I do like to do is, I've got 3 of these at home as well. This one's got me 8mm wafters in, so obviously I've written on it 8mm wafters, mainline, and I just keep a few of each colour in one of them little tubs.
Neat, that, isn't it? Very
And
neat.
it's neat. And so I have one with the 8mm. As I say, because I'm going to Ferry, I don't bother with any tiny ones as such. So basically, I've got 8mm in that one. I've got one with micros in. I've got one with 4mm in. And I've got one with 6mm in. So they're all the different colours, but they don't take much room up, do they, in your bag? And all you've got to do is you only need 20 or 30 of each in it, because you never use that many in a match anyway. But you've just got some of everything in there. You can see all different colours, and it's just a great way of storing them, I think.
Absolutely.
As I said, I have got a couple of tubs in because we've just got these new Feederland ones in, which I've been trying, which we've done a video on before. These are even though the 6mm, I call them micro 6mm. And then we've got the micro ones, them little ones, they're 3mm, but they're more for winter fishing. Just some of the ringers. That one comes in a pot like that, so I don't mind carrying that one because that's just got all the different washed out colours in. And I do actually like them washed out ones more than the dark ones. I seem to catch more on them colours ones, mate. I think it's just a confidence thing, but I do like them. And then in here as well, I've got some, as you can see with this one, it says Ferry Meadows. I've got some bigger bait up feeders. Of various kinds, Daiwa bait ups, Guru bait ups. That's a Guru bait up.
When would you use a window to bait up as opposed to a caging? When you're casting further?
When I'm casting further, or I just want to release bait a bit quicker sometimes as well, because we've been like that shape, and obviously it's got a big opening on the side, but the vents as well. You can put sloppier stuff in that as opposed to a normal feeder. Like at Ferry, on average, you're chucking basically between 50 and 60 meters.
Yeah.
So you're going a distance. So some days when you've got them crosswinds on, you are better with a window feeder because it just cuts through it. But if if you're putting sloppy ground bait and stuff like that in, we being that shape, it just seems to hold it in better than like a traditional bait up feeder. It seems to sometimes, if you're trying to put it in and you make it too sloppy, when you cast it like that, you end up getting covered in it, and there's none gone out there, and it's all over you, your tackle and everything else. So that's what I have in there, just my bait up feeders. And then this is another little tub. I've just got some bigger nieces for fishing with. and as opposed to like normally venues I go to like Southfield and Elsicker and places like that, we use them size feeders, the mini ones and the smalls. Whereas at Ferry, that's my small one for Ferry, and then that's basically a lot of the time my fishing one, because you're putting more bait in and things like that. So it just scale it. You don't have to scale the weights of your feeders up. It's more just the size of them because you're putting more bait in. Whereas at Southfield, you might put that much bait in through the day, i.e., chop worm, casters, pinkies, and maggots all in your hand. It'd only just fill your hand of all them different baits. But at Ferry and places like that, you might be putting a kilo of worms in, a couple of pints of casters, a couple of pints of micras, and it just helps with the bigger feeders. But as I say, you don't have to always go up weight-wise to what you'd use on your local venue, but you just have to go up, step your sizes up of um, of the feeder for feeding the fish. These also work great as well. These bottom ones like this for putting the sloppy ground bait in as well. As opposed to a normal feeder, what you fill from top and bottom, when you do cast sloppy ground bait out, especially if you're casting it distance, it comes out a lot with the force of of your casting and what have you. But these like these Nisa rockets and this shape feeder, as well as the winder feeders as we explained, seem to hold the sloppy ground bait in a bit better. So when you cast it out, you can, as soon as it's what you can like strike, and it just releases a cloud straight down into water. But that's it. So in there, I've got some bit smaller winders, but still big, as in winders. And I've got a few method feeders as well. Yeah, they're the these. You know what I'm like, Tom, at messing about, don't you? Well, these ones are the Drennan ones. I like these. They cast really well. And with the sides on them, when you're casting distances, they seem to just, for me, not being a brilliant method feeder angler and don't do a lot of it, I've just got more confidence that my bait's on the bottom when my feeder hits the water with them things. But that's how they come with them little stems. But I don't know why, but I take them stems off and I put them bit longer ones on. Just it's like darts. The longer the shaft on your darts, they seem to just fly better and things like that. So the further I'm fishing out, I just take them off. They're just out at cart side at shops, some cord tail rubbers, and I just put them on and also it makes your line lay flatter at back of your feeder, so you don't seem to get as many liners with them as well. So that's all I do, but I just use a bigger one and I use a bigger tail rubber just for casting the distances. Only other thing I've got in here is my spiky bombs, which I would never go to Ferry without, and I can't. Yeah, feature finders. I can't believe what difference these make compared to a normal bomb. You can chuck a normal bomb out 10 times and wind it in, and you just think the bottom's like in here, like a carpet. You cast that out once, and it tells you every feature and every bit of weed and gravel, silt. It's just unbelievable the difference by casting one of them in to a normal bomb in your swim is massive. And at Ferry, you have got to have a search about in your peg because you might just chuck in. If everybody says chuck in at 50 metres, these certain pegs you can't do that because there might be a weed bed there, or you might be on top of a gravel bar. You want to be other side at gravel bar, but so you need some of these as well. I call them my spiky bombs. There's other words for them, marker bombs or whatever, but these are what we do, and we have these made and sell them in the shop as well. In the smaller sizes, we do a 1 ounce, 1.5 ounce, and 2 ounce in them. Whereas I was wanting some out the carp side to try them, but all the carp ones start at like 3 ounce and above, and we don't need them that heavy, and we don't use the rods to cast them that heavy anyway. So somebody who we know has made us these, and we sell them in shop now, and they're absolutely fantastic for finding the features on the bottom.
That's your secret, little Ferry Meadows bag, isn't it?
Bag, and that's it. That's it. Job done.